Good morning, day 36. This is why I love starting at 6 a.m. The days are definitely getting longer. There's a viewpoint up ahead, so I'm gonna try and get up there in time for the sunrise. And the birds are just starting to wake up. This is one of the best days for morning glow. Oh, the sun is gonna be up any minute. Oh, what a great morning. So beautiful. It's gonna be a good day. 7 o'clock right now. This is what early risers get. So I just saw Caterito and Slipper doing their 20-mile slack pack. It's pretty obvious I did this section wrong. Everybody is slack packing this 20 in the opposite direction. I did hear though that 2-pack and Mama Nita are going to backpack it just like I am. Today's stats. I'm going to be going to a location between Hughes Gap and Carver's Gap. So you've probably figured out by now that for me, slack packing really isn't in the cards. I totally see the benefits of it. In fact, my toes were pretty darn sore yesterday because I'm carrying 4 days of food. And if I slack packed, I would only be at 3 days, which is pretty much the standard that I've been carrying. So I could really feel the extra weight. I guess it's a little bit of the purist in me, even though I like to think that I have shaken a lot of that. It got me into some big trouble on the PCT. And after doing the Hayduke Trail, which was a trail that had so many alternates, there really wasn't a specific route that you had to be a purist for. I kind of just decided that my mode of travel was more going to just be continuous footsteps. Just based on my personality, however, being a little obsessive compulsive, I do like to have things in neat, tidy little packages. So I tend to be a person who wants to go strictly no-bo. I totally understand the concept of flip-flopping. And again, you never know what's going to happen. I might end up doing that or having to do it. And I am going to be open to it. But for me, I just feel like as long as I can, traveling northbound for me is more of a journey experience, more about a mode of travel to a destination. When you start going back and forth, it sort of loses its flow for me. So a lot of these slack pack options, they're designed and set up so that you are going southbound on them. And again, I will do it if I have to, and maybe there'll become an occasion where I want to. But as long as I can, I'm going to try and backpack and keep in a northbound direction. So it looks like we have an apple orchard in 1.2 miles. That might be interesting. Looking forward to that. All right, let's get back to it. Just had my first morning snack. The totally blue sky that gave us that incredible sunrise this morning, or pre-sunrise, is gone. Everything is gray now. There is a chance of rain and thunderstorms this afternoon after 1 o'clock. So I really would like to try and get as much of the day's hiking done by then as I can. So we're gonna try and keep moving today. I am already a little bit behind schedule this morning though, because I learned yesterday that my great Aftershocks Aeroplex bone conduction headphones that weren't very cheap have broken. I can't get them to charge or turn on. So I had to make arrangements to get another pair of headphones mailed to me from home, and that took a little bit. Plus, I just found out that there is a new addition to our family. So I had to look at pictures of a beautiful 10-pound baby boy. Welcome to the world, Jameson. One interesting tree. Its center is hollow, and then at the top it bends and keeps growing. Stopping in at Clyde Smith's shelter for some water. Welcome again. How's the water?
Pretty good, pretty steep to get down there, but
Yeah.
it was great source.
Did you just leave your packs here while you went down?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would not suggest taking your pack.
Nice woodpecker out there. So another little bit of trail terminology. When you come to a water source, it's always not a bad idea to get your fill of water and then fill your water bottle to carry it out. So you get hydrated without having to carry the water. and that's called Cameling Up. I actually don't do this too much because what happens to me is then I just have to pee every 5 minutes. But I do like to start with an empty water bottle when I add more flavoring to my water. So that's why I'm finishing this bottle. Here are a few of the water flavorings that I use in my water bottles. This one is LMNT, Element, and it's an electrolyte mix. Mango chili is actually one of my favorites. Tons of sodium, which seems to really suit my body. I really like that one. It's probably my favorite. Middle one is Liquid IV. It's pretty good. It's pretty healthy. It's non-GMO, also filled with electrolytes. Flavoring is pretty good. It's not too sweet. And then the last one is something I've had left over from a while ago. It's actually an energy fizz, although I don't really find that it effervescence very much out here on the trail. I don't know. Also, discolors really fast when it's in the sun. I don't know if it kills anything in the drink. But this one is filled with vitamins, and it also has green tea extract for caffeine. So tons of B vitamins, and I have to be careful about this one though because of the caffeine keeping me up at night. Also really makes me have to pee for some reason. But what it's really good for is when you've got a big climb ahead, which today has that. In fact, it's going to be climbing for pretty much the rest of the way. The last 4 miles today are going to be very steep, a big climb up to the campsite where I'm staying at tonight. Not a big fan of doing that at the end of the day. I think there's like 31 switchbacks involved. And if you know anything about the AT doesn't really like switchbacks. So I can only guess it's got to be steep. But these are the drinks that I use. Since we're talking about hydration, figured I'd just share. This is the water filter that I use. As you could see inside here, there is a filter that's very similar to a Bria filter that you would use in your home, that you would keep in your refrigerator. This is a 1 liter version. They make a smaller one, I can't remember the size, and then they also make a 3 liter size. And then these, you can buy this piece separately. It's like $25. I found the filters don't last quite as long as a Sawyer filter, but they have been holding up pretty good out here on the AT. Some of the places that have siltier water kind of wears them out a little bit faster. And then on the back, it tells you how to clean the filter. I have not had much success with cleaning the filter. Once it's tired and not filtering very well, I usually have to give up on it. So I do have a few of these in my resupply boxes so that I can replace them. I think I put one in for like every 250 miles, maybe a little bit more. I can't quite remember. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with this filter. When it is working optimally, it is super fast, faster than the Sawyer. It's 12 o'clock and I'm making my lunch here before I start the climb. I can hear church bells ringing in the distance. Earlier today, I saw Bisquick and Shiraka bushwhacking through the woods together. Usually you kind of look the other way when you see one person bushwhacking. Usually means they're taking care of business. But when both of them were there, kind of stopped and paused. And lucky for them, they were happy to see me because they were bushwhacking up from a hostel called Greasy Creek. And we got to talking about hostels and how the popular ones are never quite what they expect, and the off the beaten path ones, the ones that never get talked about, end up being the ones that give them the memorable experiences. So Greasy Creek is run by a 70-year-old woman, and she basically takes hikers into her own little house. She can't handle very many. And she served them up this wonderful dinner of hamburgers and then made them a great breakfast this morning and then sent them on their way. And got me to thinking how sometimes the grungiest or the least desirable looking hostels end up being the ones with the greatest experiences. And going back to my PCT days, I remember that Hiker Town was definitely the one for me that fit that bill. I remember I was hiking with a guy named Captain Underpants. Some of you might remember him from when I was blogging. And Captain Underpants was staying in a room, and he actually was awakened by a mouse who stole a bagel out of his bag and crammed it down this hole. And he witnessed it all. It was like it just happened that fast. And Hiker Town was just really rustic. It was not a town. Anyhow, thinking of Hiker Town made me think of how I got a text from Wired today to let me know about the Softleys. They were a big hostel area just after the desert section in Southern California. I guess they're kind of still in the desert where they're located because they're in Agua Dulce. But super, super nice people. You could camp in their backyard, and they had chickens running around and gave over their garage to help with all the hiker stuff, had washing machines in there and set up showers. It was just this really amazing thing that they did. And they just loved the hikers so much. And I heard a few years back that they retired. And today, Wired sent me a GoFundMe page. Apparently, Donna Softly has brain cancer, and she had surgery to remove the tumor. And as is common in surgeries like this, they got most of it, but not all of it. And then she had a reaction to the surgery and had a stroke and is having trouble walking and talking at this point. So for all of my PCT friends out there, I thought maybe you might want to know that and check that out further. Very sad. She was definitely an icon of the PCT. So much of her heart and soul went to us hikers. This is really sad. So there is a GoFundMe page set up for Donna. If you're interested, I'm sure if you just Google her name, you'll find the page. You might remember that yesterday I said I met 2 more hikers, Sparks and Stealth. This morning, Sparks told me that she is actually out here hiking with her sister, who is 2 years younger than her, and they have very different hiking styles. So they hike separately during the day and then meet up at a shelter each night. And Stealth is from Germany. He's just kind of hiking with them. Well, I just met her sister. Her name is Church Mouse, and she is the sweetest, cutest thing. And she looks just like Sparks. She's sitting right on the trail, totally at peace, totally in her element, enjoying nature. Sparks, on the other hand, who I adore as well, is the complete opposite. That girl can hike so fast. I thought for sure she was a seasoned through hiker. She flew by me yesterday morning in her little hiking skirt, and I think it might have been an Osprey backpack. By no means ultralight. Cruising along in her boots, talking up a storm with Stealth. I was exhausted just watching her whip by me while having a conversation. But she's wonderful. She's got some trail magic from a day hiker who used to be a through hiker. Thank you, Geo, for the cookies and for the knowledge, the information about the area. It was good info. Lone Mountain must be one of these up here. I'm not sure it's the closest one. It might be the one further away. My climb is about to begin. Okay, I'm at Hughes Gap Road, and I have 3 miles left for the day, and about 1,300 feet of elevation gain. My good friend Geo told me this is the official starting of the Roan Highlands, so I'm pretty excited. Hopefully I can get 3 miles before any storms tonight. It would be wonderful to get into a dry tent, and then it can rain all it wants. Oh, there's something over here. Let's check it out. Memorial for the Hughes family. Geo also told me about this. Apparently, they donated a huge swath of land that will forever be protected and cannot be developed. It's just started sprinkling. 1.5 miles to go. I had to stop to put the rain jacket on. I guess I can take the shades off. And that's church mouse coming up. Decided not to put the poncho on. I've got 1 mile to go. We'll see if I can do it. That's Roan Mountain up there. Still about 2.5 miles away. Going down right now. There must be a fir forest down here, a pine forest, something like that. That's where I'm camping. So I just checked with my elevation profile and we do drop here. So we must be dropping into a nice little grove of trees. Sounds really nice. Hopefully it has a nice wind break. And I'm leaving the top of Beartown Mountain right now. That's what this mountain is called. Almost certain that that is Roan Mountain on the horizon. 6,200 feet up there. Just got into the pines. And I'm pretty sure I saw a tent down here. So it's 4 o'clock. I'm not the first one here. Yep, it's a tent. I'm not alone in my thought process. This is a big camping area. I should be able to find some seclusion. Good evening. Okay, so I made it to Ash Gap. Did not go on to the shelter as was my intention not to. Can't tell you how many people passed me today. As the afternoon wore on, more and more people came trudging by. Glad I didn't go to the shelter, but I'm also disappointed that the wind is really howling here at Ash Gap and the trees are not doing much of a job in blocking the wind. It's chilly because of the wind, but what are you gonna do? Just gotta be comfortable with the uncomfortable. So I'm all tucked away into my sleeping bag, got a lot of my layers on, and I'm not freezing when all of my body parts are inside my sleeping bag. Like right now my hands are cold. not a big deal. I know I'm going to be comfortable sleeping tonight. It's just not going to get that cold. Part of the problem is the wind is coming in every direction tonight. So all of these little venting areas are also allowing the wind to get in. So it's just hitting me every different way. And for whatever reason, my pitch is not as great as some of my other ones. It's gonna be fine. Can't always get a perfect one. Didn't want to spend the time to fix it, especially after having to go down quite the drop off the side of the mountain to get water from a spring. But like I said, it's all part of the game and I'm happy with it. So I'm gonna sign off now, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. There is going to be fog early on, but I hope it clears up, and I hope that we get some great views. Talk to you later. Good night.